Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. It's the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from worlds of TV, film, social media, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis, and on social media, you know me as PD Beats. You'll recognize my guest from Siren, which can be watched on Freeform and Hulu. Aylya Marzolf is with us. Aylya, welcome to Popternative.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So, mermaids, pretty much. I mean, that's the first thing to say, right? I mean, like I said, we've had other people from Siren on Popternative before, but it's unbelievable to see. It felt like when this show was kind of disseminated to the masses, it got a fan base pretty quick, I feel.
It did. I feel like what little girl didn't grow up swimming in a pool wanting to be a mermaid to begin with? I mean, we're very different versions. We're nothing like Ariel, but I think everyone connects to that. All little girls did. And then there's also like a really large mermaid community, like people that really enjoy kind of like the cosplay of mermaids, like before the show even. And then beyond that, there's so many really good, like, just human stories, or even like emotional connections and relationships between mermaids and humans, and a lot of things that everyone can relate to.
Absolutely. Have you ever been interested in the idea of cosplaying or like going to these conventions and maybe checking it out more?
I feel like going to conventions would be really fun. I had someone ask me about a convention like in July. I don't know if it's still happening, obviously, because of all this COVID stuff, but I thought that'd be really fun. I think, I don't know that I would dress up a ton. The nice thing about Katrina's on land, it's just really purple contacts.
It's true, eh?
Yeah, purple contacts and some boyish clothes, and you're Katrina.
So I kind of consider yourself like people who act, people who write, people who, direct, like all those people that you're all storytellers.
Yeah.
When did Aylya Marzolf decide she wanted to be a storyteller?
Well, I mean, I think I used to sing a lot, and I feel like singing is also telling a story. And I think the earliest memory of that, like being a very clear thing that I was drawn to, is I was 2 years old. We had moved to Jakarta, Indonesia, which is where I grew up. And we were at a restaurant that had like a little stage. No one was on it. There was no mics, no instruments or anything, but there was a mic stand. And I snuck off from the table and went up on there and started singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars to the bottom of the mic stand.
Wow.
To the whole restaurant. So as long as I can remember, I've always like wanted
and the rest was history.
Yes.
Yeah, you missed that. You didn't tell us that part. The rest was history after that.
The rest is history.
It's amazing to see your character in this show. To see all the characters, the people that portray the characters like yourself, you know what I mean? The reception from the fans worldwide on social media is incredible to see.
It really is. I mean, when I kind of started on the show, I was like, oh man, like I can tell everyone loves Eileen and Rin, right? Like, what's not to love? Like, of course. And so coming on as kind of like the enemy or the antagonist, I was like, I'm gonna get so much hate. I was like bracing myself, I was like, this comes with it. I get it, and I have received nothing but love.
Yeah,
it's crazy the amount of love that I got. Spoiler alert: Katrina died this past week, and I have had nothing but like. I woke up the next day to at least 200 messages. I read the comments on the Siren pages, just everyone like, oh my gosh, no, I love Katrina. Like, she was bad, but also good, and I was rooting for her.
I can't believe you dropped that right now. I'm just saying.
I mean, it aired already.
No, I know, but like, because I obviously wasn't, I was gonna ask you about it, but I wasn't sure. But like, we're not even like 10 minutes in, and you just dropped the bombshell.
But yeah, it was really nice to get all the support from fans from everywhere, like Brazil, Uruguay, Indonesia, even different places in Asia, and in the UK. Everyone loves the show. Now
listen, evidently we're probably not going to see Katrina for a long time in Sirens. However, I will say that flashbacks are a thing.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean,
I'm just saying,
it's happened.
fingers crossed. You know what I mean?
Flashbacks, spirit world. Who knows? Maybe Katrina has a twin. That would be cool.
Obviously, a lot is kind of on hold right now because of COVID. But were there any other things that you were doing or working on after Siren or before Siren, so to speak?
I had shot earlier this year, I think maybe less than a month before the whole COVID thing shut everything down. I had shot not a huge role, but a very fun role in a movie that I believe will be airing on Lifetime. But I don't think they got to finish shooting between the COVID lockdown and like they were snowed out as well where they were shooting. I don't think it quite finished, so I don't know when that will actually come out.
Network television shows like Siren, though, what is the timeline wise of like getting the episodes done? Are they done like every, because I know, for example, some shows, right, did not have a chance to wrap because of this COVID, right? So is it in more real time that you think about the shooting of shows on network television, or?
I think it depends. I think especially Siren, because we have so much CGI and we need time to do the ADR and the CGI stuff. We shoot this last year. We started end of July and we go until the end of November, and we get all 10 episodes during that. So it's about 8 working days per episode. And so we wrapped in December. So you're going to get the whole season of Siren this year. You don't have to worry about that. But I know a friend of mine, Alvina, who was on Siren. She played one of the mermaids in season 2. She's on Nancy Drew, and they did not get to finish their season.
I just interviewed someone from Stumptown. They didn't have a chance to wrap either.
Yeah. I know some people that were literally on set, and they started by doing like all snacks must be like pre-packaged snacks, trying to like be more sanitary and stuff and like extra cautious. And then the next week they were like, nope, we're done.
Well, at one point, I think, obviously all the safety precautions and public health precautions are going to be followed, right? But at one point, like, we're going to have to like try to get back to the normal and shoot all this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, right? Like,
it's true. At some point, we would all like to work again. Yeah. I'm enjoying the quarantine. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten into a groove where I'm like, another month, I could do okay with that.
It's been like 7 weeks. It's been like seven weeks already. Like, it's nuts how time is going.
Yeah, it's flown by. And then, here they said May 15th. But I think it's going to get pushed again.
I feel like, so it's one of those things where obviously it's a crazy time and many people are being affected in different ways. But, you said you're enjoying quarantine. I mean, our show, like Popternative, which is a podcast, but I'm also referring to it a little bit as like a talk show.
Yeah.
Because it's both. You know what I mean? It's a podcast because it's like if people don't want to kind of see us, they can listen on Spotify or iTunes. That's why I consider it a podcast. But like my like numbers have gone up because people obviously like have time to check it out now.
Tune in.
Like, it's been crazy.
That's great.
So there's that. And Siren is a drama. What are some genres besides drama that you have worked on or want to work on in the future? Are you into horror? Are you into comedy? I mean, everyone, I feel like, is into comedy. Well, maybe not, but...
So I've done a little bit of comedy. I was on a guest star on an episode of Grandfathered, which is John Stamos' sitcom. This was quite a while ago, and that was really fun. But I will say that comedy intimidates me a bit, because usually the people that are already on the show are so funny that I'm like, oh, what if I'm not funny enough? But a few things I would really like to do. I got a taste of it on Siren, is like the stunts and the action, and I would love to be like the female Jason Bourne kind of thing. Like, that sounds amazing. The more stunts, the better. And I really want to do like a romantic movie. One of those like heartfelt ones that you watch when you like are going through a breakup and you eat with a pint of ice cream. I would love to be in one of those.
For sure. I feel like a lot of people in the entertainment industry are like starting to wear like many hats. Do you see yourself as doing more than just acting down the road? Like, do you want to produce or write? Have you ever thought about something like that?
I have. I just finished the first draft of my first script ever.
Wow.
I've been taking a screenwriting class for the last year, and I'm starting edits. It's still nowhere near done, but I got the words "the end" printed, so that was that felt really good.
How good did that feel?
So amazingly good. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it.
I'm writing a short horror film right now.
That's amazing. I feel like shorts are so hard. You have to get so much into such a short amount of time.
I see. It's weird, and I'm very green to everything, right? Because I've never really like done something like that before. But like, I feel like writing a feature film is like the hardest thing. Like after writing a little bit of my short, you know, like seeing like a feature film and all the classes I used to take, like that's like difficult. Like there's like this like the spacing out of certain events that happened, and like you could have writer's block. Like what happens now? Like
oh my gosh, I've had so much writer's block, and because I've been in a class, I've been forced to push through. And there's definitely parts of dialogue that I've written where I go back and I'm like, oh yeah, I had writer's block. This is terrible.
It's one of those things, whether it's with your screenwriting or whether it's on Siren. Actually, give me something of both. Like I want to know a little bit about like the Aylya Marzolf like learning experiences, because every time you work on a project, there's going to be kind of learning experiences. So what did you learn about yourself and about the process of writing your script? And then tell us a little bit about some learning experiences on Siren.
Maybe this is a silly one, but I learned that I write far better if I'm eating and drinking something delicious.
Interesting.
That sounds ridiculous, but if I have like...
I feel like that's an excuse. More snacks.
I mean, I feel like during quarantine, you don't need an excuse, right? That's like 90% of what you do during quarantine.
Touche.
But I've noticed that like I was reading something about how in this day and age, everyone's like so distracted and we have such a hard time focusing. And so people will be like phone, TV, this, that. And I noticed that if I just have something to eat or drink, that is enough of a distraction that I can actually focus on what I'm doing in front of me without actually getting distracted.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not good at just doing only one thing.
For sure. And what about on Siren? Like, what was that like?
It's crazy because I feel like with Siren, there were things that were challenging, but like beautifully challenging, and I took to them very quickly. And the underwater stuff was amazing. And I don't know when I'll ever get a chance to do that again. But you know, we trained in free diving, and that was really cool. And I feel so at home in the tank. Like, I wish I could have a tank at my own house because I feel so at home there. I learned that I can hold my breath for a very long time and that I can act underwater. I learned that I'm very good at being cold. I don't like it, but I'm very good at it. We shoot in Vancouver, and it's, you know, October, November. It's freezing.
Canada. Oh, Canada. Yeah. I'm from Ottawa, so. You know, you mentioned we talked about like the social media and the impact of Siren as a fan base. It's amazing. But I kind of want to know about the specific reaction and reception from like your close like family and friends in your circle. What was that like?
It was great. Everyone was really happy for me when it started. And when I first booked Katrina, I didn't know how big of a role it was going to end up being.
It got significantly like bigger. Like, congratulations.
The first season I had no lines. You know, it was like, I mean, we were fresh out of the water. We didn't talk much, and it was amazing. Like episode 9 of season 1 was so much fun and so cool. And like this whole, to play a non-human, I had never done that before, and it was amazing. And then come season 2, it was even better because we had our new pod of mermaids. So it was almost like we had a whole new family. And then I got to explore Katrina even more and then do stuff in the tank and fight scenes and all that. And it was amazing. And, you know, every one of my friends and family, who know me, like, they know who I am. They know how before Uber, I was the person that if you need a ride to the airport at 5 o'clock in LA traffic, you can call me and I'll probably come get you. You know, like,
you're just a nice person.
And so for them, when they saw me, but also there's a side of me, like, I ride motorcycles, I can throw knives, like that kind of thing. So my friends and family were like, yes, look at you being a badass on TV. And so that was really cool to like explore that side, you know, of me a bit more.
I just love how you were like, I don't know. I just find it funny. You started about like, I'll be the person 5 o'clock, the airport, right? So I can be there for you, but I also throw knives.
Yeah. Multifaceted.
That was a very good. That was a funny segue I found.
Thank you.
That was almost like, be nice. You know what I mean? I'll bring you to the airport.
I mean, you know.
No, it's crazy. Like I haven't been to like California in a long time, but I just hear like the traffic would just kind of like.
The traffic is so bad. It's great now. There's absolutely no traffic whatsoever. For a motorcycle ride today, and it was great. There was no traffic at all.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, I agree.
My son was in the background trying to talk to me, and I was like, "I'm busy."
It's fine. It's fine.
But the traffic like has a life of its own in LA. It's like its own entity.
No, absolutely. No, he was joining in on the conversation. He's listening. It's fine. Thank you so much for doing this interview. This was awesome. This chat with you.
Wonderful. Yeah, my pleasure. It's very nice to meet you.
No, absolutely. Where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
I'm pretty much only on Instagram, and it's Fresh Freckles.
That's a great handle.
Thank you. It's no one can say or spell my name, so I was like, if I made it my name, no one would find me.
Fingers crossed for alternate universes, flashbacks, but congratulations on your tenure on Siren.
Thank you so much.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. And until next time, this is Peter Beats and Aylya Marzolf signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.